Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Podcast. It's a show where each week we're going to be sitting down with Vincent Daly to get his thoughts on the latest movies he's been watching, both older films and new releases. And don't worry, there's no spoilers. Vince will give a brief review of the movie, share some thoughts, and of course, then rate the film. The daily ratings are always fair, honest, and most importantly, they're consistent. On today's show, Vince will be rating and reviewing. We are jumping in with the Safdie brothers this week. So, we are jumping back to 2017 for Good Time, and that's directed both by Benny and Josh Safdie. Then in 2019, their film Uncut Gems by both brothers. And now newly released, now in theaters, Marty Supreme. And that is just directed by one of the brothers, Josh Safdie. So, let's get Vincent Daly in the room here, hear what he has to say about these films. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Mr. Vincent Daly, how are we doing across the table, my friend?
Thomas, how's it going?
It's going okay with me, and we had ourselves a Safdie weekend. I'm kind of excited to talk about these.
Yeah.
I've watched, we saw Marty Supreme, we talked about last week, saw Christmas Night for our now new tradition that we do.
Right. We followed Timothy Chalamet's order, Marty Supreme Christmas Day, that he's been yelling on the press circuit.
He has been on quite the press circuit, that boy. I think it needs to, chill out a little bit, but overall,
okay.
I'm cool with it for the most part.
Interesting.
He's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Haven't watched Good Time before, so I did watch that over the weekend, and I rewatched Uncut Gems for the second time, which I love returning back to. How was it for you, knowing how the Safdies are with you?
This week, I have a lot of complicated thoughts on all three of these movies.
Okay.
So that's probably why we didn't dip further into the Safdies' filmography. They technically do have two other films. I want to say Heaven Knows What in 2011 and something else from 2009. So there is more to go back to, prospectively, when now the brothers kind of split up, or no drama in the split up, but they've gone their own ways in directing. We can maybe circle back for that down the road, but these movies, I mean, they're a doozy.
These were the ones they didn't do the other ones with A24, correct?
No, I think they. Oh wait, you mean the two others that are missing from the week?
Yeah.
I don't know actually who did licensing. Maybe Heaven Knows What was A24, because it certainly looks like an A24.
Okay, gotcha.
flick.
Well, the nice part about these is that they're on HBO. I mean, now that HBO has the deal with A24, it's great. It's so easy to watch these, you know. And Marty's going to be coming on there, I don't know, relatively soon-ish, at least.
Sure.
Had a good weekend though.
Yeah. I mean, probably not as big as they thought. Maybe with as much press has been put.
I think it's doing okay.
Okay.
A24 can still only do so much. You know what I mean? A24 and Timmy can only make so many tickets.
Yeah.
Sell,
absolutely.
especially when Avatar is out there. But so it beat Anaconda, which I think they were saying that Anaconda was supposed to do better than Marty Supreme. But anyway.
Interesting. But big New York week. This is a New Yorker episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That is true. They are very New York guys, aren't they?
Very
they really
New
are.
York. And you look in the extended cast, the little bit roles that they put into it. All of these are presumably like real characters you find in the city. You know what I mean? Especially like who they'll pull in. We have a lot of those actually in Marty Supreme that I feel like there's more like guest spots than ever. These movies are a doozy. And I'll be honest, I was kind of intimidated to go back to specifically Uncut Gems just to kind of explain like why you think the way you do on it. Yeah. Why I hated that movie, and why I still, in ways, kind of hate that movie. But we can obviously get into where I'm landing.
I am very excited to get into that one.
Yeah.
But first, we'll jump back to 2017. This is called Good Time. Both brothers are directing here, and also Robert Pattinson is starring. Definitely their shortest one. I think this is an hour. This is an hour and 42 minutes. Uncut Gems 2:15. Marty Supreme 2.5. Dead even. So Good Time, and I'm glad that this one is shorter because it needs to be. All rated R. Why don't you set it up, get into it, we'll take it back and forth.
So both of our older movies this week, originally I had them scored very poorly, and returning to them this week was partly connecting the dots on my initial thoughts and seeing where they land for me today. And kind of just, I don't know, again, like I said, there was some nerves in trying to maybe either justify the score or see where they land, now that we are knee deep in the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I watch a lot of movies. I would say my taste in movies has changed, but most importantly, as we've commented before in the past, that the scores that I put on there pre-podcast, they were kind of just my own taste. They were measuring my own taste.
Yeah.
Where I would
They usually
actually
line up
want
pretty
to,
good.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, on kind of working back my original thoughts, though, that was pretty damn easy considering the intended experience of all three of these Safdie's films this week is crystal clear in how they want to make you feel. And I really mean that. I mean, there's just really no mystery in how these films want to make you feel. And while that might be missing, while we might be missing some of the earlier projects of the brothers on this episode, I still think this is a nice thematic trilogy, as their diehard fans online have been dubbing these three movies as the Anxiety Trilogy. And I think, honestly, that is a perfect...
Yeah, I think rightfully dubbed.
Yeah, the Anxiety Trilogy is a great way.
It earns the title.
So starting with Good Time, though, our self-induced panic attack comes by way of a chaotic but oddly heartwarming story that plays in equal genres of dark comedy and crime. We follow Nick, played by Benny Safdie himself, as a mentally challenged man, hyper-impressionable to his brother's influence. Connie, played by Robert Pattinson, is extremely reckless, but more than overprotective of his brother as the two plan a small-time heist. When we see that robbery botched, Nick gets picked up by the cops and sends Connie into a spiral across the 5 boroughs to find $10,000 for bail money. Now on the inside, though, Nick is bound to be torn apart, forcing Connie to, in a desperate scramble from scheme to scheme, find this cash somehow or resort to more chaotic methods, or I should say even more chaotic methods, because the methods were pretty chaotic to begin with already. I would say without a doubt, the trademark quality of at least half of the Safdie's directing is smacking you across the face with enough anxiety to walk away emotionally damaged from these movies. These movies, I feel like to some degree, you cannot show these movies to someone that is very affected emotionally by movies.
And send them into a panic attack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't think there's any problem with that, being affected by art or a movie, being really engrossed into it. That's totally fine. But these movies will latch on to you. You'll have trauma walking away from these movies. Of course, over the 3 films here, that quality is kind of dialed back, either to amp up the tragedy, like Uncut Gems, or show a bigger arc to a character, like in Marty Supreme. Mm-hmm. But here in Good Time, it is sharp. Mostly because it's under 2 hours runtime, and the scope of what the story's goals are here, it's true to that anxiety.
Yeah. Well, and it's very small, so it's just raw. This one felt the rawest.
Yes. Yeah.
And it should be, You can see the progression of them kind of getting better, getting bolder, and getting bigger along the way.
Absolutely.
And how you have Josh then with Marty Supreme. But this definitely is the tightest and smallest one.
Yeah.
But for that, it's a lot of panic in a small box.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And where I'm glad it's under 2 hours.
Oh,
I feel like it's condensed in a good way, it's boiled down. I feel like as you watch this, they definitely keep a lot of trends as far as how the editing, for instance, is done. The editing is done as, for these first 2, and then moving on to Marty Supreme, a 3-way split between Benny, Josh, and their writing partner. You could just feel that, I don't know, even though maybe some of that anxiety is dialed back to weave in different flavors to the movie, the editing and the pacing that comes from that editing is all true across the board of these 3 films.
Yeah. So. They definitely have a bit of a mark. They have a DNA and some talented filmmaking. I mean, they have some good shots, even in Good Time. And it's, I don't know, they're not just a couple bros making student films.
You're right.
You know what I mean? I'd like to see them have some skills.
Yeah.
Their writing partner, by the way, is Ronald Bronstein.
Yes.
Or Bronstein. Yes. And he's with them a lot.
Yeah.
As a co-writer.
And someone I'll talk about when we get to Marty Supreme as well, for some of the shifts in tone that happen with character dialogue.
Sure.
In that. So, originally when I watched this, though, and for sure when I originally watched Uncut Gems, I found this panic-inducing quality to be deeply grating, though, and at worst, seeing it as kind of just noise for noise sake, even if it was the intended experience. And don't get me wrong, even back then, pre-podcast, I could appreciate that approach in kind of like a punk rock sense. These movies were just flat out not an enjoyable watch for me, period. So they reflected poorly in the score that I would give it.
Yeah.
We spoke about this when we returned to some of Sean Baker's work, where in a vacuum before the podcast, the scores were for measuring my own taste, and I flat out never wanted to watch this movie again. I definitely didn't want to watch Uncut Gems ever again. And I think it's something that naturally we're going to come across in the lifespan of the podcast. We're going to really see that type of, I don't know, my understanding of that, an understanding of what movies get high recommendations and where I think they work and whatnot. That is going to evolve over the course of the podcast. I think, no doubt, whenever we return to something like Hereditary from Ari Aster, I don't know. I'm going to have to kind of confront, like, I don't really like this movie at all, but there's a difference between me giving something a score for my own personal taste versus giving a score for the daily ratings. You know?
Yeah, but you are the daily ratings. I don't want you to have to bump scores because you feel like you have to, or because that's the thing. It's funny because what you're saying is. What you just said was, I actually agree with myself when I put this on the daily ratings 10 years ago.
A little bit.
But I don't know if I actually want to give it that score for the daily ratings, even though I am Vincent Daly.
Exactly, because there's a different method now. There's a different use of the daily ratings. You know,
yes and no, but you are the weather vane, though. I mean, that's the thing. That we were trying to, we're an old school kind of thing where we don't have 1,000 different reviewers or an aggregate,
right?
You know? Either
it is ultimately about personal taste, you know, and translating that taste.
And even if I can't hate your scores, I know I can come to you, and if I'm opposite on everything, that's still a great bellwether.
Yeah, true.
There is that thing.
That's a good point. But I would say in a positive sense, a little bit of watching these movies was trying to work backwards and see where I was coming from with that. A little bit of it as well, and maybe even more of it, was trying to just experience the movie again, because I know the twists and turns of these two movies. I know,
and you're coming off of Marty Supreme,
exactly,
because you watched Marty Supreme before you returned to these, correct?
Bingo. I know the intended experience, the feeling, the tone of it. So I was just trying to kind of go in fresh as possible to experience that ride again.
Well, and I think that's good, and also to be fair to you. I mean, we give it the tag fair, honest, consistent. These films, Uncut Gems and Good Time, like this was back before we went heavy with the daily ratings, and I would just throw films out towards you, and you would just kind of give numbers.
Definitely for Good Time. I mean,
exactly.
Uncut Gems is 2019. So
you're taking a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, that's getting a little bit closer. So,
but there is that thing. Like, we definitely have some leeway here. Like, don't beat yourself up too much.
Well, no, it's more so. It really is. It's a reflection on. This is a growing thing. This is you know, I even myself, I'm a growing person. So
I mean, look at the scores of John Wayne. I mean, it's fantastic.
That's the.
I'm never going to fight you once.
That's the biggest.
The guy said Alamo was one of his favorite John Wayne films. I was like, what? This guy's a bigger fan than me.
I still stand by it. He was so entertaining in that. Oh man.
No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
You're,
history buffs are going to roll in their grave over that review. Oh man!
I was watching Three Godfathers today before you came over. I love that film more and more. I'm telling you.
People have garbage television. People have popcorn television. You just throw on movies.
Yeah.
Maybe you fall asleep. You know, maybe.
Yeah. But that's not a garbage short.
No.
Okay.
I mean, like background noise. I'm not dragging through Godfathers. Piggybacking off of the original hate, though, I absolutely still hate almost every character in this movie. Jennifer Jason Leigh might be my top 5 most hated actresses. Her brief inclusion in this is not welcome.
She does bring correct me if I'm wrong. She's in Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. She was in Existence.
She plays a crazy person in Hateful Eight, though.
Yeah.
She's good at crazy energy.
I guess. I hate her.
Okay.
The character Ray, played by Buddy Duris, is just an absolute train wreck. Apparently, he's also a carryover of these like kind of local New York talents that Safdies that pull on. Yeah, he does.
He looks like a cousin of the Safdie
brothers. He feels real. But most of all, Robert Pattinson, just a total up in this. I mean, man, just an absolute scum Like,
I'm fine with you hating the characters, but
yeah.
he's playing it great.
Sure, but it's the character that I'm attached to in the story.
It's gross. You feel dirty watching it.
Exactly.
You just want it off of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is what we encountered, like I said, with the Sean Baker episode. Going back to Florida Project, these characters are so detestable that the experience of watching the story, good acting or not, or the immersion of what it's trying to convey or not,
can be damaged.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I never want to
no
see this
redeeming
character.
qualities.
I don't want to even experience this character again.
I understand that.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's a good point, though. Robert Pattinson is that divide of good performance, also unusually good performance for Robert Pattinson, I think at the time. Was this 2016?
2017.
2017.
This is when people are starting to realize, have their eyebrows up and be like, wait a second. That guy, the Twilight guy, is like actually a really good actor.
Yep. And it's surprising
because
it's like, what happened to the Twilight guy? You know, like, was this guy always here, or is this the work? So, but yeah, there's a degree there where with this character, there's a pull of, wow, I can really respect his performance, but just personally speaking, I don't like this character at all. I don't want to watch this character. I certainly don't want to root for this character in any kind of like typical protagonist sense.
Right, no redeeming qualities. This is very, what did you bring up the other week? You brought, Cape Fear. Like almost like Robert De Niro's character in Cape Fear.
I love Cape Fear.
I know. But I think some people who watch that have that thing. We're just like, I just can't watch this guy.
Sure.
Same thing with that anxiety-inducing thing.
Yeah.
I just can't do this.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, maybe it's a good point because it's like, I love villains, but what's the line here when the villain isn't villainous?
Right.
They're just shitty.
Right, exactly. Just a shitty person.
Just detestable, you know? I will say, though, out of this, you know, in the context of this movie, I appreciate the purpose of writing these characters this way, you know, to, again, the context of, like, what this movie is trying to make you feel like, and really just, like, how these characters exist in this hypothetical New York that they go across. But what it does to communicate that ever-spiraling shit show that they find themselves in, good or bad, that's where it's a hard recommend for me, and it's a hard watch. Even still, coming back to this, I will say one kind of nitpick that I wanted to throw to you, especially since you watch this, is between this and we'll come back to this in a big way for Uncut Gems. I don't love how dialogues and specifically arguments, I don't know, they boil down to a reality show blow up in these two movies, and it's something that's kind of missing from Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme is the most mature by far. Picture from them or from him, but
you know what I mean when I say reality show blow up. Like, it feels like, I don't know, the arguments, the drama between characters. I don't know,
too manufactured. So you're not buying it.
No, it feels like a reality show. I mean, I really don't have a word beyond that.
I don't know if I feel that. I don't know if I feel that way.
Yeah.
Maybe if you bring it up again with Uncut Gems, I can kind of understand what you're saying.
Well, with Uncut Gems, it's more specifically in how arguments have an average of 4 people talking at once. You know what I mean? In every single argument. So in that, it feels reality show-ish. I don't know. Here, I couldn't really nail it down, and I honestly don't know if it's even if I'm saying that's like how it's shot or just how these scenes feel.
/ the editing.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a number of things, but that was just a nitpick that I wanted to see what your thoughts were on that. But you're not really feeling that at all.
I'm not. No, I don't feel like that. It never really popped in my head, and I actually quite like it in an Uncut Gems scenario. I think it just amps up the tension. When you have 4 people, it's chaos. It's chaos.
Sure.
And they film chaos. So in Uncut Gems specifically, because it's a bigger film than this one, as they grow and grow and grow.
Oh yeah.
It's just heightened ever more. I like the talking over each other. I like the 3 different things going on in one scene. Yeah, I dig it.
Interesting. Well, I mean, what were some of your thoughts on Pattinson and whatnot?
Well, I just thought really good acting. I mean, I am coming away from this one saying I like this movie. I thought this was a good film, and I don't know, maybe one day in returning to it, I really don't have to. I'm glad I watched it because I enjoy seeing these Safdies and seeing where they came from, where they're going. I like that, and I do think that this is watchable and good. Tagging it with that trilogy of chaos or trilogy of anxiety is fantastic, and I don't know, I think there's a place for those films. I watch those very well. Like I'm not one to get affected by it as far as I turn it off and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that's not one of those films. It's not that genre for me. So I kind of like it, and I enjoy the performances. Like I thought Benny did a pretty good job as just playing a handicapped guy. I'm glad that he is reduced. His character is reduced as far as screen time and everything like that. And it comes to the Robert Pattinson show, and I thought he did really well. I was thankful when it ended. I was like, oh, it just ended? And I was like, oh, actually, thank God it's an hour and 42 minutes. Because more would have been, lately we're sticklers for, this could have been shaved 15 minutes off, shaved 10 minutes off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think this one just was appropriately paced, because at the end of it all, when you see from point A to point B, there's not really a whole lot going on. And so it's just, tight little anxiety pill, and I'm cool.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, where it's like, it's not that more runtime would really like hurt this, but this, I feel, Good Time specifically is so sharp because it is only about the anxiety. They're not, there's maybe like, themes of like, brotherly protection and shit like that, but like.
It's anxiety-induced.
Exactly.
The entire thing. And I think that I love that you brought up what's his face, Sean Baker.
Yeah,
because you're right the same way, where they can leave. You turn off the film and you have some type of distaste in your mouth. I get that.
And both of their approach to kind of trying to capture something real, even while being it's still a fairly big movie. There's an approach to capture real. And I mean, everything that Sean Baker is to the West Coast, I mean, the Safdies are East Coast. You know what I mean?
I like that a lot,
like Crips versus Bloods over here.
I think that... and maybe I love that. And I like that they're in that space. And I think we might run a Sean Baker thing where the rewatchability of him for me is not all there. And this Good Time movie, again, the rewatchability, not there for me.
Right.
But I did like it.
Yeah.
I just don't need to really consume myself with that constantly. And part of it is the dirty characters. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, I think one of the things that I'll comment on for all 3 of these films is that on this rewatch, I actually was turned around on a few specific areas. And the main piece that I was turned around on is I fell in love with nearly all of their soundtracks in a really, really big way. I'm not sure if I just wasn't listening to them on their own, or why they kind of didn't hit me on original watching, especially Uncut Gems. I seriously loved all the soundtrack work here. I have to say that I think this is a touch from Josh in kind of the organization of this idea of the movie, since it continues to Marty Supreme, but was it wholly missing from Smashing Machine. I feel like going back now to Smashing Machine, just be like, you look at that production cast, and it's like, I'm glad Benny is going off on his own, but he lost all the key players, their cinematographer, their composer, their writing partner.
Yeah.
Smashing Machine is on its own island, and then you watch the movie, it's like, oh, this is totally on its own island as well. It relates nothing to the Safdies.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
it's
wild.
And we get it's almost like a case study. What happens when the brother directors split, and we get it with the Coens as well.
Absolutely.
Where you get Macbeth, right? Which everybody loved.
Yeah.
And then you get,
Honey don't.
Right.
Which we'll probably, get a third one yet.
And the soundtrack, there are pieces, I think there's connective tissue between movie to movie that you can see.
Yep.
But Uncut Gems, the music is really good as well.
And music here, too. I mean, I feel like, for Good Time specifically, the Safdies pay respect to the atmosphere of a lot of heist classics. I got Michael Mann vibes straight up from this. This sounds like Thief, or sounds in its synthiness like a Tangerine Dream soundtrack more than I could count. I was saying that to myself, and for sure, this aspect was just the biggest swing in appreciation for this rewatch, and really across the board for all 3 of these films. So, folks, it's a slippery slope of progressive cluster on this one, and whether I originally enjoyed that or not, I can respect that is really the artistic intention here. Where Josh Safdie will show growth over his next few films, though, is fleshing out those sequences to be more than just condensed chaos. But for that same exact reason is why I feel this is still worth checking out if you haven't seen it at its most potent. Let's go ahead and give Good Time a 67.
Okay, a 67%. That's not a bad movie.
I don't think it's a bad movie.
That is in good movie territory. What was it before? Do I ask? Okay, that's fine. Honestly, no, I forget.
It was a 40 before.
Okay.
It was a serious 40. It was a big boy 40.
You know what we say, Farron is consistent, baby. With that, let's jump 2 years ahead. Still in New York City.
Yeah.
They're cutting gems. It's just this, and I'll tell you what, the talk of the town on this one wasn't the Safdie brothers. No. I mean, somebody, we were talking about A24, whatever, Uncut Gems, though. This is the Adam Sandler show. Welcome. Buy a ticket, have a seat, and buckle in. You start. Go ahead. You can get your whole spiel out of the way, and we'll get into it. Can I do it for you? You want me to do it for you?
What?
When this movie came up, everybody was saying... Yeah. Right? That's what you want to say. Can Adam Sandler act?
Can Adam Sandler actually act? all the listicles online, all the clickbait. Wait, you telling me? I hate it.
Your answer has been no, but again, and you have seen this before, but go. You get into Uncut Gems. I'm excited to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, pretty much everything I said about our last movie, copy it over to this movie and just mix in a little bit of hatred about Sandler for me. So I watched this right away on release back in 2019, and pretty much it justified all of my thoughts about Good Time pre-podcast. But exactly how I've joked over the years, again, Uncut Gems does belong, if anything, is the most modern example of those handful of times that fans of Sandler will point to as evidence that he's actually a great actor. By this point, I can recognize when Sandler is turning it on versus just getting a check. It's just that I struggle to stomach the vicious hatred I had for the character he plays. It's not necessarily Sandler's performance. If anything, I look at Timothée Chalamet as Marty. I look at Robert Pattinson as Connie, and now Sandler as Howard. All three of these, it's like a great performance. There's something with the character that I definitely have beef with, and that's so key to enjoyment or again willingness to return to a film in the first place. So
I think that's fair, and I think those characters definitely earn your distastefulness attitude towards them. It's earned.
My blood feud with it. Uncut Gems, though, is a crime-packed gambler's tragedy that centers on a crook with unthinkable levels of greed that becomes a straight-up bottomless pit which threatens to swallow him whole. From Ethiopia to New York, the gem trade is a vicious one, filled with snakes only looking out for themselves. Sandler plays Howard Ratner, one of the sleaziest snakes in the 42nd Street Diamond District, recently becoming in possession of one of the biggest ass opals I've ever seen that he believes is $1 million investment. Howard lives in a total cloud of chaos, however. He juggles a crumbling family with his bougie side piece. He shifts around six-figure deals while simultaneously dodging collectors, but ultimately all of it being fuel for his corrosive gambling addiction that shows his true colors underneath all the gold. New prospects introduce new players in his life, and while Howard thinks this might be his big chance to leave everyone in the dust, his old connections don't forget that easily. I would say, while Adam Sandler is obviously the focus here, I can't agree with you enough, Tom, of like Sandler was like 100% the draw.
Yeah,
here.
he was being talked about big time.
Yeah, I would say almost even before Uncut Gems, the line was like, "Who the f*** are the Safdie brothers?"
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it went. People talked about this, and then people were talking about A24.
Yeah,
this is when A24 really they were making a lot of films,
sure,
and giving at least putting a lot of money into smaller projects. Mm-hmm. This put him on a map in a different kind of way. I think it went Adam Sandler, then A24, then the Safdie talk. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
I think it was after 19. It was around this year when they really started to get a lot of funding. A24. They had a couple really good funding rounds, and then especially in the late 2020s.
Sure.
That propelled them into kind of quite a serious studio.
Absolutely. And just synonymous with being a hit maker. Maybe like a weird movie you watch, but it's more than just like the quiet horror movie that you see someone eating a pie over 20 minutes for.
Sure. Yeah.
It was more than just that's just like indie horror.
Right. And last year we get Civil War, and this year we get Marty Supreme.
Absolutely.
As the big ones.
So, but while Sandler is that focus, a lot of celebrity cameos surprised me, especially with some years in between my initial watch on this. His wife is played by Idina Menzel from the Broadway Wicked and Frozen. I don't know. I just saw that. I was like, wait, what?
New York, baby.
This is where it's like New York specific. Like this is the New Yorker director. I might not know shit about basketball, but Kevin Garnett has a huge role in this.
Yeah.
Editor John, maybe you can cut in when I didn't know what the movie Hoosiers was.
Hoosiers.
I still don't know. But I bring this up because a lot of the little celebrity cameos that are thrown into this, I feel like does add a layer that it makes it feel realistic in a way that Howard, the character, would want to weasel his way into these circles of influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like that's really only a factor here because Marty Supreme takes place in the 50s then. Here, it's kind of unique to the story and the atmosphere of the story that these celebrity cameos are doing a little bit more work than just like, oh, hey, you remember this? You know, or you recognize this person? Let's talk about the Safdie's writing a little bit more, though. Dialogue and exactly what I mentioned about the reality showness in argument seams, I feel like only gets 10 times worse for me here.
Especially the messiness of it sometimes. Yeah,
it's 10 times messier.
Yeah.
And again, that's intended. It's definitely a grading quality for me. Scenes of tension have entirely new levels of annoying for me, with there being, on average, like I said, 4 voices in any argument talking over each other. And I would say both the writing and the camera work always feel like, again, just a reality show blow-up. It feels like, I don't know, overly drama. And not like dramatization, it's just drama.
Like watching The Real Housewives of New York City.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I mean. And I detest that type of shit.
You wait for Andy Cohen to walk in and host a live show. The reunion show.
Exactly. We need a post-show recap, where we all get the blood out again, and then maybe one of them tackles another, Yes, do these scenes convey the sheer panic? They are meant to, and I really mean meant to for the story, absolutely. But I also feel like they are handled a lot sloppier in Uncut Gems than any other movie this week. I can't stand Lakeith Stanfield's character in this. I honestly hate nearly every character once again, and Sandler playing Howard is entirely new levels of scumbaggery. Like, entirely new. Never have we seen this big of a scumbag.
Oh man,
it's a lot for me. I mean, I get angry. He's under my skin for how much of a scumbag this character is.
I mean, mission accomplished kind of then by the directors and what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
The problem is
that's the hard spot that I'm in this.
Cuts deep. It cuts a little too deep for you.
Yeah. That's seriously, but that's the exact situation I'm in. Like, do I respect the artistic intention here, or do I tell you how much the movie is like to watch?
We have said,
what is it like to watch?
We have said this before, where they didn't put enough sugar in for you to return to get it down fully.
Sure.
It's just too bitter. It's too not good. When you put it down, you're done.
Yeah.
I
mean, both of these movies will not be something I return to ever again.
And that's
I now have 2 under my belt. I've settled a little bit on either of the scores.
I know.
And I mean,
you don't say that about many films. It's this and The Searchers. You're done. He's done, folks. Stop trying to push him. He's done.
Yeah, I definitely stopped pushing me on The Searchers. Watched that too many damn times.
I think, but honestly, that's fair. And this is just mileage will vary.
Yes,
per individual person.
Absolutely. This character, though, Howard, man, the epitome of hating a protagonist for me. He is the slimiest character I think I've ever seen on screen, and maybe that deserves a huge amount of praise on the acting piece for Adam Sandler, on the writing piece for the Safdies, but I cannot help never wanting to experience this character again. If I came across a character like Howard in real life, God help me. I mean, like seriously.
Who would you rather come across in real life? Joaquin Phoenix's character in The Master? Or Howard in Uncut Gems.
Similar chaotic energy. Like, move to the other side of the street, I think you said on that episode.
Yes.
I don't know. I think the real fear is that I may land into Howard's scheme without even realizing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I may end up in a bad spot before I realize it. But I will say my original rating of this was easier to recall most because of this, though. So much of Howard's logic and collapsing life, again, intentionally problematic or not, is just so frustrating for me. It feels far-fetched at times because of how in over his head he is, especially in the club scene. I feel like the club scene is something that I point to every time where I almost want to turn off the movie. You know what I mean? It's just like, how is this guy let back in there? No way is he, causing trouble with bouncers, with gangsters around. You know what I mean? Like, all of that, it really culminates in that club scene. And the fact that he's just so spineless as well in the confrontation that's core to the movie, just cements how this character is just one of my most hated in all the movies. He might get even number one.
Wow.
He might get Howard Ratner. Congratulations.
The Howard Ratner Award.
Yeah, Howard Ratner
Sounds good.
Yeah, seriously. But I don't know. I want to ease off because I feel like, again, there is a line. And I feel like you are able to be a little bit more level-headed around this line.
You know what I like? I think
performance versus character role.
Love this episode because I'm figuring something out. This is your anxiety films are kind of my horror films. Like I just don't need to feel like this when I watch a movie. I don't need to be scared. I don't need to be spooked. I don't need
right.
Where you love it, but what you don't need apparently is anxiety.
Is a hated character.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to cut Sandler short here because, again,
he's clearly doing a good enough job.
Exactly.
That you're hating this character.
Yeah.
Which you are.
Yeah.
You're almost his wife in this. Not you, I mean us as viewers.
Yes.
Are the wife because we see him for who he actually is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And you're just like, all right, where's he going to go next? You almost let him run with it.
Right.
It's just like, all right, well, I'm not going to stop him.
Right. Yeah.
There's a degree there that I think Sandler does deserve some flowers for this.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't hear me say that very often, so that's why I'm making it a point. But I feel like when I watched this originally, there was a degree where I did not see the acting performance from Sandler. I saw not really knocking Sandler in real life that he's anything like this guy, but I don't know. There was a naturalism to his performance that I don't know. I mean, I kind of saw just Sandler. Yeah. I didn't care to even give him a chance enough.
Sure.
And I think that's a big variance here. So, on a more positive note, though, I was once again really turned around on some elements in the filmmaking here and gained a lot of respect for Josh Safdie's direction. For starters, I think the cinematography is pretty great when it's not in those kind of argumentative scenes that kind of boil down to reality show filming. The moments Howard is in his euphoric gambling highs are genuinely beautiful, and I think there has to be something said about the cinematography here.
Same guy that did Seven, by the way.
Yep. And he sticks with them through Marty Supreme. Yeah. Once again, I mean, it's like I'm looking for him. I was just like, where was he on Smashing Machine? Because he does other work besides working with the Safdies.
Yeah, I did Midnight in Paris, which people like.
Yeah. So the opening credits also kick off with a trippy visuals that will definitely continue on to Marty Supreme.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Talk about connective tissues.
Yeah, I kind of like that quality of that. The Safdies, in addition to a panic attack of a movie, they just have
Let's just reuse that.
Yeah, we have these weird, CG visuals. I mean, but they look good.
Yeah.
Once again, though, my respect goes to composer Daniel Lopatin as a secret weapon for this production. This time around, the soundtrack is much softer, much more meditative, and at times it reminded me of, no joke, I mean, this is high praise, but the great synth work Vangelis did for the original Blade Runner OST.
It's got some great synth.
Yeah.
Right up your alley, this soundtrack.
Absolutely. And that's why I was like, I kind of was looking at my own scores like, damn, did I just not hear the soundtrack?
I think you were that off-put.
Yeah.
That stressed out, couldn't even hear it.
But, these soundtracks are, gorgeous and, so up my alley. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, is exactly what I want. Oftentimes, I would say the music is also our only reprieve to the mental breakdown on screen, which is a nice contrast to the film. Good time you have the music leaning into the panic. Here, it's almost a slight reprieve, or at least in the fantasy of what Howard is going through.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I would say there are still plenty of moments that conjure those sheer panic attacks on their own in the soundtrack. The track School Play, in addition to the nightmarish scene that it's paired with, is a flawless example of how unique the atmosphere is and how it can kind of flip on out of nowhere in these movies. And boy, what a scene that is. The School Play scene. It's a moment where it's just like, I have a desire to turn off this movie. And I don't really get that. I'm
a little surprised. Yeah, okay.
It's unreal. Folks, the movie is the mother of all debacles, but more frustrating for me than its intended experience designed it to be. I really appreciate watching these movies back to back, though, because originally I felt Good Time and Uncut Gems were inseparable, mostly being a rehash of themes with a bigger cast. I really saw these movies as like near identical. I definitely still stand by some of my original thoughts on this movie, but I cannot deny that both of these films deserve their own attention for how they go about executing the madness that they want to introduce. We're going to go ahead and give Uncut Gems 2019 a 59.
Okay, 59%. Yeah. I'm a little shocked that Good Time got higher, I have to say.
Yeah.
But I will say that that Uncut Gems is kind of Good Times times 5, times 10.
Sure.
Which I guess because you have an adversity to
yep.
the just the stressfulness of it,
yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense that it's actually less.
I think a little bit in the head-to-head as well, I respect that Good Time is shorter, is sharper in its anxiety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As more panic-inducing as it is, you know?
Well, I mean, I'll just start there then with the time frame of it. I could have sworn that this was 2 hours flat when I finished it. When I saw it was 2:15, I was like, this is great. This is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Deserves to be 2 hours and 15 minutes. I really do think it's earned. I wouldn't cut too much from it. And I saw this the first time, not immediately in theaters, but when it came out on like digital or streaming, I saw it relatively early. I liked it, but I felt uneasy with how I felt about it. Again, I'm good with the anxiety-ness of it. I can take that in and kind of enjoy it and sink into it. I didn't know how to read Adam Sandler. I didn't know how to read the character, and I didn't really know how to read the movie.
Yeah.
Now, I liked it, and I can walk away saying I liked it. Going back to it again and watching it again, I was just like, I think I'm going to be a little bit more let down. I think the high, because there was a high on the film, and people talk about A24, people talk about Adam Sandler.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? There was a high.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, now that the dust has settled, I don't think I'm going to like this as much. I liked this movie more coming out of it after the second watch.
Wow.
I guess a little bit like you. And I personally love the character. I love to hate the character.
Oh, okay, all right.
And like I said, I like the runtime.
I can respect that a lot, actually, because I mean, he is such a scumbag. You know what I mean? It's almost like a good villain performance.
I have to be honest. I'm still rooting for him because at every time I want him to make the good choice.
Right.
But he never makes the good choice.
He always just gambles.
Right. The music I really love. I love the commitment though. The commitment to the story, but the commitment to the character. Because Howard is the movie. And I don't know. This guy is such a liar. That's what I was picking on, just his absolute scumminess. I tried to start paying attention in the film of when he's actually being honest, when he's a truthful person, and within 2 hours and 15 minutes, when is this guy honest? And I think there was one scene. I think there was one time with one character he was honest with, and everything else was a lie. But just the commitment of, like, in the writer's room to be like, you don't even have to have a lie there, and he's lying. Like, you don't have to have it at all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just like the commitment of it. It is just one after another after another. I like seeing it. I like the spiral, and I thought it was so well choreographed. I just came away really respecting it, and I think that's why at the end of it, I was like, wow, that was 2 hours and 15 minutes? That flew by. Because I was in it. I was engaged with it. I was engaged with Howard. I think some of the shots in this were very good. You can definitely see, like, they're good directors, even though that they're younger.
Yeah.
I can see chops in there. And I don't know, and to be honest about it, those chaotic scenes, when there's 4 people in the scene, that scene of the play, and when shit's going down and everybody's talking over each other or whatever, I am in it, honestly.
Yeah.
And the second time watching, I was able to buy Adam Sandler. I wasn't sitting there with, I don't know, Adam Sandler brain, where I can't get him out of my head.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's too present.
Sure. Or even, like, waiting for the, in the expectation of saying, like, oh, this is a good Sandler performance.
Right.
It
was just, it was just too much in the water, so I can't get off of that.
Yep.
This time I was able to just see him as Howard. and I was really loving his performance. I did think he got the nomination for the Oscar.
That's a good question. I wasn't even on that wavelength this week.
I hope he... Well, let me just say this. He deserves it, in my opinion. He deserved it for this. That's how much I was liking him the second go-around.
Wow.
I was just buying him as his character a lot. I think he fit the role really well, which even coming out the first time, I was just, again, I just kind of scratched my head a little bit more that first time. What did I just see kind of deal? I'm not going to give it a 2 shoes. I'm pretty hot on it, though. I have to say.
You gotta.
I don't know. I
don't want to put you on the spot in case you haven't put thought into it.
No, I did put thought into it. Coming off of it, I was just like, I don't know. Do I put a lace on it? Do I like it that much? And talking about it, I'm exciting myself.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't know if I trust myself to give it one, but I'm feeling lacy. I'm feeling lacy. Yeah, not 2 laces, but I'm feeling 2 shoes and a lace on it.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe I'll stamp it. Maybe I won't.
Because I don't know.
I need to go through the 2 shoes too. I need to revamp stuff. Not enough gets 2 shoes and 2 laces. I totally need to go through stuff. I'm still hammering out. We're on year 3. We're on year 3, and I'm still trying to put the laces together.
I think, and I always say this, I think it's important when I want a Tommy Two Shoes when we are different on different on a movie.
Yeah,
we feel differently on a movie, but especially when you're more hot on a movie than I am.
Yeah, but also, do I care enough to put a stamp on it? I still don't know if I care all that much about Uncut Gems.
Right.
You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah.
At the end of it, do I care about Uncut Gems? Not so much, but I enjoyed myself.
Sure. But let me ask you this: would you return? And not that rewatchability is the most important metric.
It's not.
Yeah,
I always go back to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. For some reason, I love that film, but after it was over, I was like, I don't need to watch this for another 10 years.
Right.
But it stuck with me in a very important certain way.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
Yeah. So not that that's really the most important metric, but would you return to either of these movies?
Yes, I would return to Uncut Gems.
Okay.
And I probably, when Marty Supreme comes on A24, I probably will watch Marty Supreme again, just give it another watch.
Yeah.
I see Uncut Gems being the most returnable for me. I might even like it better than Marty Supreme. I'm not even sure quite yet, even just, on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's how much I was enjoying it.
Okay.
Not in love with it.
Right.
But I got to tell you, coming off it a little hot.
All right.
Appreciate it. Adam Sandler a lot coming out of it. So that's what I get. You know what? No, I'm not going to give it a 2 shoes because next week I'm going to be like, should have just gave it 2 shoes, no lace. I do need to do revamping. You know what? I give too many things a 2 shoes and a lace.
Well, because that's a market that you like the movie.
Right, it's a good movie. That's the thing.
Right.
And if I get excited, that's what I'm like, I think I need to put my stamp on it. Okay, so regardless, that's a 59% from you and whatever that is from me. But that's where we're at. And let's jump on over. Oh, shit, no. Oh, no, let's go on to the producer segment because we do have a producer to thank for this episode. We have producer Sean writing in, Vin.
Oh, wow.
And I believe he sent in 2 movie tickets with the... covering the PayPal transfer fee, which we always appreciate. And Sean also wrote a note in. So he goes, "Hi, Tom and Vin. Congrats on another fun year of rating movies. Dumpuary is quickly approaching. 2026 might have the best Dumpuary lineup. So we are looking at Mercy, Migration 2. Migration 2?
Migration...
Is that the animated?
Maybe? That's surprising if that has a Dumpuary slot.
Migration.
Unless he's talking about that Gerard Butler movie. He's like survives the apocalypse and now he's walking out with his family or something like that.
No, okay. Yes, I think I do know what you're talking about. Migration 2.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't actually think... It doesn't look like it's actually happening. Oh. Greenland 2, Migration.
That's it.
That is Gerard Butler.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we figured that out. Okay, but he's right. Dumpuary.
Yep.
Okay, Mercy, Migration 2, kind of. We Buried the Dead. Can we get an award at the end of January for Best Dumpuary Film? Well, this would be end of February. Because it's January and February.
Yeah.
January and February are lumped in as Dumpuary.
Yeah.
But
I can tell you.
It's going to be in the scores.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be in the scores this year. We'll definitely go to Flight Risk.
Yeah. Oh, that. Presents?
Presents was really bad, and then also, why can't I think of it? Not Beekeeper.
Working Man?
Working Man, because that was so mind-blowing.
#1 film on Netflix, I believe.
That's so crazy.
So terrible.
It's like, you didn't understand what you had in Beekeeper?
With Beekeeper,
like, what is going on?
Multiple people came out of Beekeeper being like, oh,
right.
Not bad.
It was like kind of in on the joke.
We'll do an award at the end of February. I mean, it'll be, like I said, it's in the scores.
Right.
You can take a look.
It's an easy one.
Sean he goes, a few fun questions for you here. So, Desert Island movie, Tron Ares or Del Toro's Frankenstein? Which one?
That's rough.
I'll probably go Tron Ares.
I'll go the madness of boredom on the desert island.
Desert Island director, Del Toro or Tim Burton?
Whoa. That's actually an interesting head-to-head just because, both are so stylistically rooted.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say?
I think I might go sand on that one. I might go I might go, no thank you, don't need
desert.
it. Yeah. You got to go. What are you?
I think I maybe lean Burton, but not as people. That's a total opposite. I don't like Burton as a guy. I definitely like Del Toro as a guy. That's tough, yeah. I guess Burton by default, maybe.
That surprised me. I think after the Toro episode, I think Del Toro for you.
Yeah.
To be honest about it.
Yeah.
And then we have I like this question, actually. Desert Island decade of cinema. So if you just had one decade of cinema, Desert Island.
Oh, I mean, not to be basic, but I would have to go 90s because then I get all 90s anime movies.
I think
that's like my favorite.
You say the 90s, anime movies? Come on.
I'm telling you. Because I get 90s Disney, I get 90s anime.
Okay, sure.
And then I get 90s being a golden age. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't mean to be like a basic bitch with the
basic bitch. No. We get it. Now, you want it for Forrest Gump. We know. I mean, there's probably only three answers, right? It's got to be either, it would be 40s, 70s, and 90s.
Right, because we've argued
is what a lot of
40s.
people would say.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. And I don't think
And we definitely argued the 70s, too.
Oh, look at the 70s. The 70s is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. The 60s, the 60s has some good stuff, but not quite the Jews. 50s, we know how we feel about the 50s. And 30s, I don't think we're studied enough.
Yeah, so true. So true. And
I go 9.
We'll probably never get to.
I'll go 90s with you.
Okay, all right.
To be honest with you, I do think your decade actually would be 70s.
Yeah. Well, if you look at numbers.
You get Star Wars, you get Sorcerer, and you get The Godfathers.
Okay, Godfather get 2001. Wait, no, is 2001 70s?
Oh, that might be 69. Okay, but regardless.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that answers your question. He goes, thanks again for the great work. Well, thank you very much, Sean, producer Sean.
Thank you.
We always appreciate when you produce. You've been with us since the very beginning, which is just awesome. And folks at home, if you're listening, wondering what's going on, or if you know the deal, of course, the daily ratings here, we are completely listener-supported. We are producer-supported. So no advertising here, no paywalls or payment tier structures where we force you to pay a certain amount of money to get content or to get extra content and bonus shows. We're not doing that because everyone's on their own finances. Everybody's week to week is different. And most importantly, everybody might be getting a little bit of different value from what we're doing here. So we are going off the value for value model. Are you finding value in the podcast, in the website? You enjoying it, stopping by once in a while? What does that mean to you? Is that valuable to you? So can you send us some value back? It's value for value. So go ahead and head on to thedailyratings.com, head to the donations tab, and everything is laid out there for you. We are completely supported by your donations. So anyone who does donate in, anyone who supports the show, is a legitimate actual producer of the Daily Ratings. Because just like in Hollywood, when you financially support a project, you're a producer of the project. So when producer Sean writes in and sends in some cash, he's an executive producer of episode 219, which again, we appreciate so much. And if you want to be a producer of next week's episode, 220, just head on to thedailyratings.com. Again, go to the donations tab. If you want to write in a producer note, because we always want to hear from you, whether it be questions, comments, critiques, ask us anything, start a conversation, add to a conversation, whatever, we always want to hear from you. You can email us at tom.vin@thedailyratings.com. Hit us up there if you want to be anonymous. Just let us know, and of course, we'll honor that. So that's how we're doing it here. We are value for value. We are listener-supported, producer-supported. Again, head on over to thedailyratings.com. Thank you all for a great, great year. Of course, our end of year show is going to come up, and we'll give everybody their flowers and everything like that. I don't think next week. It'll probably be in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We'll put a beautiful, nice cap and have our award show for the year 2025 in film. So we're very excited. Vin and I have already been started working on that, of course. So that's going to be a great show. But for everyone this year, we've definitely had some new people come on and find us and produce right away. Means the absolute world to us. So thank you all so much. With that, let's head on in to the theater. Vincent Daly, Christmas night, the 10:15 showing. getting out at 1:20 a.m.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
This is Marty Supreme. This is Timmy Chalamet in all of his glory on the press market. He was really shooting for the Oscar. More than almost I've seen anybody.
Yeah. There's
openly talking about it. The dude wants it.
Absolutely. There's definitely a degree of just like I kind of respect him doing something that we haven't really seen ever in an acting role, or at least in modern history of acting. And also, I could see where that is a big annoyance.
Right.
For
Stop
some
being
people.
so thirsty.
Right. So
and yeah, after the 10,000 member Academy, like who votes for the Oscars, about 10,000 people. It's getting more and more international. You still have young people coming in.
Yeah.
But you still have those older folks voting that might be like, fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Who does he think he is?
Almost like we saw with Leo, where there was like it seemed like years that Leo should have won in the past.
Right.
It's out of spite almost. He wasn't.
They could be fickle. That's why I almost don't think... like, for instance, Sinners is kind of being talked about. Will it get Best Picture? I don't think it will. I think it will absolutely be one battle after another.
Crazy statement, but...
I mean, there's some people that love that. But I do think Coogler will have his moment, but probably in like 10 years.
The Academy goes all of their years ignoring horror wholesale, even in like the greatest examples of horror.
Yeah.
And then what, a vampire movie?
It's drama horror. It's not horror.
It's crazy.
But just even like, but looking at kind of the timeline of it all, like Nolan didn't get it for Dark Knight.
Right.
He had to wait 10 years. What's his face now has to wait. PTA didn't win for There Will Be Blood.
Oh, right.
Wait 20 years and you get up for one battle.
Yeah.
I think Coogler will get his time, but it's not for this one.
So true.
Anyway.
So true.
Okay. Well, anyway, Marty Supreme. You were coming out of the theater.
Marty Supreme, Christmas Day. Marty Supreme.
I guess it felt a little Christmassy too. Was there snow on some of the New York streets in this?
I think it was in winter. We didn't get a single Christmas
tree,
in my
own head.
I cannot call this a secret Christmas movie, which...
No, it's not. No, not even remotely. You get into it, break it down, we'll take it back and forth.
Well, I do want to start exactly what we've been talking about. We got to start with talking about the absolute tirade Chalamet has been on for this press circuit. I mean, and it has been unbelievable. Early on, we actually reposted one of his early videos of where he kind of unveiled these big ping pong ball head bodyguards that he's been rocking.
Yeah.
I think I would have been like fine if it just ended there. I thought it was kind of cute, But over the last months, Timmy has 100% embodied and potentially been annoying with the determination of his character in this film. From drilling in the phrase Marty Supreme Christmas Day into your skull to manipulating own rumors around him to be featured in a rap song, we're seeing a type of maximalism towards a performance that few actors have kind of committed to, period. Now, without hindsight, I guess we'll see how much this actually pays off. We'll see how much this pays off in the box office in a couple weeks, just after it's had its time.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it pays off come award season. But right now, am sure happy to say that this movie was one of the best of the year, and I very much enjoyed Timothée Chalamet as Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme is I kind of came up with this. You can maybe knock this if you think it's too much, but it's a hustler's odyssey. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think you're too smart for me. I get what you're saying,
right?
So I want to agree with it.
Stop.
There's I
guess is the term Odyssey too much, because they're calling this an epic,
Oh my God, I know this was tagged with epic.
Yeah.
It's not an epic.
Okay, we'll dial
it's 2.5 hours long, but maybe a little bit too long. But no, it's not an epic.
Right, exactly. But it's nonetheless a hustler story that takes the endless ambition of one ping pong player and weaves his story through dark comedic tones and the usual dose of anxiety you would expect by now from our director. While the story is loosely adapting the real life of table tennis pioneer Marty Reisman, my research showed me that there really isn't enough connection to call this a biopic for either the man or even the sport. And I feel like we're definitely on the same page when it comes to that.
They're playing cute with the character.
Yes.
Josh Safdie is having some fun. I mean, basically just somewhat real guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's go make a ping pong movie.
Exactly.
And make it a period piece in the way that we want to.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
From what I gather, Reisman is a New York urban legend just in the same way that he's pulled from little bit characters that he throws into his movies. Reisman is yet another person that he would have loved to just kind of put into his movies.
Right,
and whatnot. On the ping pong side of that, I think we're definitely on the same page that ping pong is more so a flavor of Marty's hustle in this. He really, ping pong, he wants to be a champion. He wants to die on the sword of ping pong being huge. But when it comes down to the movie itself, it's just yet another shade to show what he does to get what he wants. So instead, we do follow Marty Mauser, a wildly confident young man living in 1952 New York, who has to dream big for himself or get left in the dust since no one will do it for him. And that dream is becoming the world's best ping pong player. While he has no problem convincing himself of his own greatness, Marty adapts to kind of be a salesman for his own cause, recruiting both old friends and new influencers in his life. However, soon each of them will find out how little they matter in the eyes of someone obsessed with achieving greatness regardless of the cost. I would say vastly different than our last two films. Timothy playing Marty is a protagonist you can root for, even if his toxic ambition is designed to turn you off of this character in just the same way that the aspects that turned you off the last two characters were there.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a dick. I feel like there is a degree, though, that he's much more a protagonist in a normal sense than the last two main characters we've had to deal with.
And he's striving for greatness and to be great too. And there's something with that where, at least his goal, like he has the potential to be great.
Yes.
So you kind of give him that leash.
Absolutely.
It is something to root for.
Yep. He's problematic in plenty of ways that makes this story interesting or complicates the goals throughout the runtime. But the biggest difference in Safdie's direction is making him more empathetic than ever, or at very least making his goals aspirational. Anyone can kind of get behind the rookie trying to climb to the top type of story. Among countless examples, though, comparing any scenes involving hustling are a perfect example of this. Where in previous stories, hustles or schemes were used to push our main character further down a slope of shit. Here they are presented as fun, snappy, and energetic, which I just feel like was not in the formula of the last two movies. Schemes were often the moment that our character slips further, and rather than being empowered in some way, where with Marty Supreme, it's yet another thing that he's just racking up on his way to the top. Now, I'll be honest, this results in an arc to the story that was 1,000 times sweeter than I could have ever expected coming from our director. And unfortunately, it's kind of my biggest issue with the film, that this story is just way more positive than I feel like it was setting up itself to be.
Okay, yeah.
But nonetheless, Safdie is able to juggle his usual anxious tones in the film while making them more like kind of typical challenges to overcome than ever. Where, again, challenges in the previous films, it was kind of just yet another kick in the groin on the way down already, you know? We were already spiraling down. Looking at this production, though, it really feels like the only person missing is Josh's brother, Benny. We have Ronald Bronstein co-writing here once again, which I'll say it feels slightly out of place in writing this time period this takes place in. One of my slight issues is that really none of the characters sound like they're from the 50s at all. But at the same time, I question if that's a stylistic choice. What are your thoughts there?
I think you're right. I just think they wanted to play in a 50 sandbox, but I don't think
and not commit to it.
Just the care, consideration, how you have some directors that just absolutely agonize over the detail when they're doing some type of period piece. I mean, you think of, look at James Cameron with the Titanic.
Sure.
And he's just like freaking out over the porcelain dishware needs to be the exact same. And Marty Supreme in my head, with Martin Scorsese, with the agonizing pain that he went with the Native American tribe doing Killers of a Flower Moon.
Great example.
This one, I'm not going to say that they didn't care, because sure, they absolutely cared about this film.
Right.
The attention to detail, and that includes mainly the writing of how are these characters actually living in the 50s, how are they communicating, what was it like back then. I think it's a good note to make.
Yeah. And again, it could be just a choice stylistically that they have throughout it, because again, no character was hitting that mark. Marty Supreme's most of all, but it was just a little tough. It didn't necessarily take me out of it, but it was something I definitely noticed and was kind of trying to pick up a little bit. I think the two ends of the spectrum of that in performances are shown in Tyler, the Creator's performance, which was distracting how modern it felt. And then on the other end, on the good side, I would say Kevin O'Leary, a.k.a. Mr. Wonderful, who feels just so comfortable in the role that he could have actually been an elite in that decade. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like there's a degree there that it is kind of a nitpick because it didn't hurt the film per se. But I don't know.
It was just a style. It was, for sure.
It was something I will say I wish was just a little bit more care put into it, like you said. So, adding to, again, kind of the whole gang's here except for Benny, cinematographer Darius Kanji comes back once again to craft the look of this film, and most importantly, on what's going on that ping pong table. One of the more common complaints I've heard about this is that there's actually not enough table tennis or substance to the sports angle.
Yeah, that was me stepping out of the theater. Some people, it's me repeating myself over and over and over again to you.
right. Well, that's where I was going to throw it to you, but the blood's out, his knives are out. I will say with the table tennis, I personally just love the editing of the ping pong matches, and we talked a little bit about this after the theater. How the competition is shown, and then specifically how the competition is shown through Marty's eyes and who he's eyeing up. I really enjoyed the rhythm of these sequences, so much so that I wanted more, and I kind of agree with the people upset that there's not more ping pong. I wanted more because I feel like these were just absolutely electric moments in the film. I loved how the competition was. I loved how Marty is just constantly juggling different angles around it and how to make it even like a press event for him. How does he push Marty Supreme even further into people's eyes? Again, kind of that salesman for himself. So much of that. And again, that relates to editing that's more than just ping pong itself. But so much of that I thought was like the highest strength of the movie.
I not only wanted more, I'm not going to rain on your parade. If you're making a ping pong movie, I want the ping pong shots to look good.
Okay.
I wasn't wowed.
Okay,
I wasn't wowed. I wasn't seeing beautiful art form, in my opinion. I thought, okay, that's how I would shoot a ping pong movie. But most importantly, if it was fine, obviously, it was well shot. That's fine. How do you do it? Obviously, it's not Timmy doing all of the moves, so they have to do from the behind shot and everything. It's good. It's good.
Sure.
You're getting what they're putting down. You can understand what's going on in the game. That's fine.
But you're on the same page as far as not enough.
I wanted more. To your point of saying The Hustler, 1950s film. I wanted this to be the color of money of ping pong.
Yes.
I love the color of money.
I agree.
The Martin Scorsese movie, folks, if you're not familiar with it, it's my favorite sports movie. Legitimately.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how much every aspect about that film I absolutely love. And I wanted the juice of that game of pool playing, of billiards, put into ping pong form.
Yeah.
You even had style cues like it. We talked about the ping pong hall that they show 3 different times in the movie.
Yeah.
I could have spent more time in there. Could have had training sequences. Matches could have absolutely had more. The crescendo match, I absolutely thought could have been a bigger deal and something that just put more time in and a competition at the end. I wanted more. And I could have had maybe a little bit more electric shots, in my opinion, but that's fine.
Fair.
And you could have got that had we gotten more matches.
Yes, yeah. I think just more matches in general. It just everything that was working in the film, I think, has more of a platform to even go further.
And I think if there's one thing to take away from this review is just know going into it, you are not getting the color of money of ping pong films. You're not getting the Hustler of ping pong films.
2 great comparisons, too.
You were still doing a Safdie panic running towards something.
Yes.
Just in the mode of sport.
Dog chasing a truck.
Yes.
I'm with you 100% as far as those comparisons of like where this could have been even further and even greater if it leaned into how The Hustler is about the sport. How Color of Money is about the sport, and then just has great, compelling characters within them.
And I think that this, and like I said, I mean, walking away from it now, it's just like, I get it. Okay, it's not what they're going for. It's about the journey of him trying to make it to the top, not about the sport that makes him the top.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, it's just like, man, really, they were really marketing with ping pong. That's my
yeah, that's true.
That's my only thing.
Yeah, you can't deny that. There's a lot of ping pong. One last note on the ping pong. I would be kicking myself if I did not make a recommendation, but there is actually an anime called Ping Pong the Animation that is a 10 out of 10.
Okay. Movie, show?
Show. I believe, I want to say 12 episodes. I mean, again, not really related. I wish I could say that, Safdie was inspired or anything like that. No, nothing like that. Completely out of left field, but I seriously would be kicking myself. It is a 10 out of 10 anime. Ping Pong the Animation.
Okay, so sounds good.
If you're craving more ping pong, then that's...
Might be.
Yeah, because it's not here.
Yeah. My thirst has not been quenched.
Yeah, right. Maybe what, Balls of Fury?
Yeah, Balls of Fury. I still say this part's at Forrest Gump,
Oh, right, okay. My praise this week would not be complete, though, if I did not talk about the fantastic job that Daniel Lopatin did with the soundtrack here. I loved the music in this.
Yeah, you were hot on it.
I promptly kicked Christmas music to the curb on the ride home from the theater and have been playing this non-stop.
Wow, no shit.
Non-stop. Huh. Oh, yeah. Almost how there is an intentional sidestep in the dialogue to avoid being period appropriate. Nearly all of that in the music is there as well. The music here comes from the 80s and a lot of 80s new wave influences, even having some direct needle drops from those kind of new wave bands directly. I'm talking Tears for Fears, Peter Gabriel, New Order. My mind was blown with how interesting the soundtrack choices were here for the film and how easily this felt like the front runner for my favorite soundtrack of the whole year.
Wow.
I mean, like this, why bring it up with the dialogue? Almost, again, kind of an intentional sidestep.
Because it's so intentional.
Yeah, it's like, well, this has to be stylistically. They're not just like plucking it out of nowhere. And it's all new wave from the 80s.
Can I bring up, let me bring up a thing then. House of Gucci. We were shitting on that soundtrack. It was all over, sometimes it was in period, sometimes it was out of period.
Right.
But that's fine. You specifically like it being out of period. It wasn't bothering you.
Because, again, though it was a complaint a little bit with dialogue, it's a praise with music.
It was so intentional that you respected it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was so stylistically defined what it was trying to go for. I mean, it just wowed me. And again, what Lopatin is doing in the score to match these influences from 80s new wave, it's a beautiful soundtrack. It is. I love this soundtrack.
Yeah, it is a good soundtrack. I'm trying to think, would I like it to be more 50s themed? There is something. I mean, I'm sure there's an argument there for it, for sure.
Sure.
But okay.
And there's some. I mean, there's in the car ride, they're obviously listening to something on the radio, so that has to be appropriate. For the most part, the music was designed to craft what the vibe of Marty Supreme was, which was going after dreams and and ambition no matter what, toxic ambition. So, with all that in mind, though, I told you this almost like right away when we got out of the theater. My elevator pitch for this is simple. The movie is 1 part Catch Me If You Can, 1 part Whiplash, and maybe even a little dose of Nightcrawler for that panic-inducing element. Frankly, I think you'd have a great doubleheader in pairing this with any of those movies, and it's because of how these characters are aimed at the singular topic of ambition, core to the experience itself. We're going to go ahead and give Marty Supreme a 79.
Okay, 79%, not cracking the 80s, but you certainly enjoyed yourself. Have you, coming out of the theater to right now, did you change much? More hot, less hot on it?
I would say less hot, but that also happened in the course of the movie, where I was really hot on this movie first hour, and then it kept
going.
Yeah, it kind of teetered out. Yeah, I think to your point, I think we didn't really touch on it main way, but just like
2.5 hours, you could have shaved something.
Yes, there could have been a shave something, and the arc of this, almost the entire arc of the film, much more sweeter than I expected.
Okay.
So.
And I do want to bring up the fact, and my uncle had said this as well, because it is true, there's a lot of storylines going on, or plots, different plots. I'll just say this, I made that comment weeks ago, animal subplots, beware. I didn't need to return to the animal subplot in this once again. You know what I mean? I just spent a little bit too much on time in this.
Yep.
Was there a nice bow on this? Did this not get wrapped up? I don't really think we got enough with this character. There are a lot of loose ends that just I don't think they had the runway or enough time or even cared to tie up. And that was another thing of like, it's not ping pong at all. Like I'm supposed to care about this and this and this and this.
Yep.
But at the same time, you don't because we're not really closing things out too well here.
So true.
That's another thing. They went into a lot of different directions, and this could also be kind of called a little bit messy, in my opinion.
Sure.
But it's also the biggest film, and it's the biggest character arc for sure.
Right. I think all of those loose ends are evidence of fat to trim on the runtime. Because they are they're just kind of left hanging. I don't think it's necessarily if we
or interweave them a little bit better, like give us something really smart towards the end that things are a little bit more interwoven. Because we do have some loose threads here. We have some tributaries from the main story going on.
And again, fat to trim, and if you're going to trim that fat, maybe that's more real estate for more ping pong.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. But no, by the way, really like this film.
Yeah.
I did. I don't think, because you said we had our holiday Christmas party, which is me and you sitting on a couch just having a cocktail, and you were getting the vibe that we, both of our crews weren't loving it.
Yeah.
So you were like being more coy about it.
Right.
But I think everybody liked it.
Yeah.
You were vibing, you were a little bit hotter.
Yeah, I think just from the rip, I think the first hour of this film really hits a wonderful stride. I just wish it just could have kept it up. That was, if there's a reason why it did not crack 80s, is that very simply.
Only other thing I want to mention then, quick rundown of performances. We both agree that Timmy is really good.
Yep.
I don't know if he's got the juice to take it all the way.
We'll see.
But he is in it a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's in this way more than Leo was in one battle after another.
Sure, yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, still killing it, still crushing it.
Yeah.
I like the young actress, Odessa Azion.
That's right.
Plays a love interest. She's coming around.
Okay.
And she's in I Love LA as well.
That's right.
Show on HBO. But and Kevin O'Leary, I made the bold statement coming out of the theater where I think he's got the juice to take all of Kevin Spacey roles.
I love this. This is also kind of a hot take. I don't know if you realize that. just referencing Kevin Spacey is a little bit of a hot take, but
no, I just think that Kevin O'Leary's like his calmness, but his elitist kind of prick attitude.
Oh, absolutely.
I was picturing Kevin Spacey. I was picturing Mr. Wonderful in this film as Kevin Spacey's role in
House of Cards.
Not A Few Good Men. Christ, what is it?
Glengarry
Glen Ross.
Yep.
I could totally see Leary's character, 2025 Kevin Leary, in that position.
Wow.
He even had little glasses too.
I'm sure they would be eager to bring that back around too.
Well, no, and then whatever, like for instance, there's a writer out there being like, this role would be perfect for Kevin Spacey, but I can't use him right now. Go to Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey trying to make it back. I think he directed a film in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole. I don't know if I exactly want to go down, but he's definitely been on a big campaign, going to cons, going to signing events.
He might get there because I don't think he was proven guilty on anything. Technically.
Whoa! And this is the rabbit hole. I don't.
No. But I'm talking business wise. You know what I mean? If you don't get, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll definitely see. I don't think it's going to be House of Cards coming back.
Well, definitely not. No, I don't think we get the return.
Not after those
that being said,
tasteless whatever YouTube videos he released.
Listen, Kevin Leary is waiting in the wings. Wait, is his name Kevin Leary? What's his name?
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary and Kevin Spacey. I'm getting confused. I just got Kevin's in the brain. You know what I mean?
He's already taking the roles.
Kevin O'Leary is in. Yes, he's there. He's waiting in the wings, ready to go. I guess it's a hot take. I thought I was spot on with that one. All right, Vin, looking at these scores here, 79% great score, especially for this year.
Yes.
Anything you want to touch on, add, highlight, anything you want to talk about for next week?
Well, next week most likely will be a little bit of a catch-up episode. Just also give us some buffer to between Tom dailies, and there are some stuff that I don't think 2025 would be complete, or at least we wouldn't feel comfortable doing the Tom dailies until we got it under our belt. So I'm going to keep maybe the list of that vague because of some of the logistics.
In the air. Yeah. Everything's very much in the air, folks.
Yeah. So we're going to see what we can see, what we can drive to see, and maybe what we can illegally see. But expect a catch-up episode. And again, folks, like I said last week, if you have any specifics that jump out to you that we didn't cover throughout the year, write in. We'd love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. By Tuesday, by the new show, we should have it all squared away. Well, hopefully, we better have it squared away you. And we're getting excited for the Tom Dailies, got to say.
Yeah.
Getting real pumped for that, as always. It's always a blast for that. Folks, thank you so much week after week checking us out and stopping by, having a good time. And like I said, new show on Tuesday, and we'll see you right back here on Thursday with Vincent Daly. Oh, wait, let me run these down one more time. We've got Good Time with 67%, Uncut Gems with a 59%, and Marty Supreme killing it with a 79%. So, okay, always a good time, folks. We will see you next week. We'll have Vincent Daly back in the chair right here on the Daily Ratings Podcast. And hey, if you enjoyed the podcast, if you would, give us a good rating or get the word out and tell a friend about us. And just a reminder that the Daily Ratings is completely producer-supported. We want to stay away from advertising, and we don't want to have any paywalls or tier structures or subscriptions. It's all just value for value. So, are you finding value in what we're doing here at the Daily Ratings? Then become a producer and donate whatever amount of value that is. Just go to the donations tab on thedailyratings.com, and while you're there, be sure to check out the massive amount of films that Vince has rated. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Daily Ratings Podcast.